Valley Innovation Group.
You all should have a handout that was on the folder. There's a couple around on tables as well, but.
Are you using these?
Yes, I am.
Angle change to that?
Do you need lights off it?
It would maybe help, yes. Unless is that, can everybody see it?
Sure, but
Yeah.
try slouch for you guys.
Good evening, and thank you very much for allowing me, on behalf of the Valley Innovative Group, to speak again at your board meeting. I know you all on the board are aware of who I am, but for those who are in attendance this evening may not know who I am. My name is Faye DeLong, and I am a member of the Valley Innovation Group. The reason why I decided to dedicate some of my time with this group is because as a parent of 2 young children, I wanted to help create a positive learning opportunity, as well as help the community come together during a time of differences. Tonight, I will be giving you all an update on where we stand as a group. First, I would like to start. Now it's not working, sorry.
Updates.
First, I would like to start with some key beliefs that we have established and found to be important to us as a group while we work toward the future. We believe during this time of change, we need to embrace that change. We also believe in growing together because we are stronger together and can make things better by working together. We believe if we are able to embrace the change and work together, we can create a unique opportunity for education and our communities. Which brings me to our group's mission: embrace change, grow together. In order for us to successfully accomplish this mission, we need to continually work on valuing our differences, work toward common ground, seek information, and consider the long-term impact. That way, when a decision is made by the group, we can all support that decision. Integrity, unity, learning, and perseverance are all values that will guide us toward our vision, which is creating the hub of unique learning opportunities for all ages to build independence so they can stay and be good neighbors. Right now as a group, we are at a junction in the road. Our group is comprised of dedicated members who have already put in hours of their own personal time. Our structural meetings with Great Outcomes Consulting and Reach Partners have been undeniably instrumental in the progress that has been accomplished thus far. But if we want to continue this progress and execute our vision, we need to hire a director who can work on a daily basis to make this vision a reality. When I spoke briefly at your last regular board meeting in March, our group got the feeling that you all are supportive of creating and hiring a director position to help with the work that is involved. Our last Valley Innovative Group meeting was full of excitement and anticipation as we discussed some of the roles that we would like to see this director handling. We want to see someone who can explore the requirements needed for us to provide high school or post-secondary credits certifications, testings, and other accreditations that would be needed to be obtained. There also is a need to have a person be the liaison between school districts, businesses, communities, or individuals seeking answers to common questions, as well as being able to reach out and recruit those stakeholders. A director would be able to gather information in a timelier manner to help us find answers to so many of our questions. As we wait to hear back from the Minnesota Department of Education on the status of our Innovation Zone waiver, we have started to brainstorm different opportunities that we could possibly implement for this coming fall, regardless of the outcome of that application. But we need help to organize more conversations with more people throughout our community, because for all of us to embrace change and grow, we need to talk together about change and how we can use it to grow. Having a director will ensure more frequent contact and conversations with potential partners as strategies are narrowed down. We are aware that the Norman County West Building and Maintenance Committee has committed to maintain the high school building next year. We are hoping our vision of creating this hub of unique learning opportunities for all ages can offer some support in the cost of that maintenance. If we are able to hire a director soon, that would allow us to launch the beginning phases as early as this fall, even if we start off small. There are several areas that need to be discussed further between you, the Norman County West School Board, and us, the Valley Innovative Group, regarding what our next steps are going to be. And that conversation, we believe, will take up much more time than what is practical for a regular school board meeting. So we have two requests this evening, one for time and one for financial support. For time, the Valley Innovative Group would like you, the school board, to hold a special meeting so our group and your board could sit down and start those discussions in more detail. The financial support is more urgent. We need action from the board tonight. We have a grant application that is due on May 9th through the Northwest Minnesota Foundation, asking for financial matching to go towards the director's compensation and expenses for 1 year. In order to finalize and submit that grant application, we need the board to approve a financial commitment for the director position. The amount proposed by our group from the Norman County West School District to support the director is $45,000. You may be wondering why the school board should invest money in something that is in such early stages of development. Because we believe that this can grow into something successful. We are the farmer asking for seed money to complete our spring work, so in the fall we can harvest our crops. The potential is here. Please consider being the first partner to help get the seed into the ground. Embrace change. Grow together. Thank you again for allowing me to present tonight on behalf of the Valley Innovative Group. Please let me know if you have any questions this evening. Some I may be able to answer now, but others might be good points to bring up at a roundtable discussion.
Any questions for Faye right now?
What are you looking for, a special,
Nope, that's not something I
at a special meeting or something, what would you be, you're full on board, or what are you thinking? What do you expect?
I guess we would, my personal preference would be yes, because I think each board member is gonna have their own questions that they would like answered. And I think that would be the most beneficial conversation, is if all of us were able to sit down and hash out details, answer questions, create more questions with no answers.
What kind of a time would you expect for that, and how long of a expectation do you have for that?
I guess next couple weeks would be,
But I mean, as far as Is it gonna be a half an hour conversation, or is it a, a 3-hour evening, get pizza in the middle of it?
I guess, our meetings have been running about 2 hours, and we typically have been going into that 2.5-hour mark, just because the time flies. With all of the different aspects that we go through and the different ideas that are thrown up onto the board, and then the questions that makes those questions arise from those ideas and stuff. It would be more than a half-hour conversation for sure. I mean, 2 hours would be a nice time, I think, to allot for it, since you do have a lot of people around a table at that time. But we also, the Great Outcomes Consulting and Reach Partners have said that they would be willing to facilitate something like that as well, so.
Is this going to be self-supporting?
There would be income coming in from it. I can't really answer that. That would be a detail that we would need to look into.
This would be a great thing, but the group, they would sure think it would have to be self-supporting. Otherwise, the school's going to be paying for 2 schools. So we're
You
kind
mean
of,
like as far as the maintenance of the actual building? Or,
anything that goes on in this building, other than if you got a company in here, anything that goes in this building, the school district is responsible for the bills.
right, and that's kind of one of the things we talked about, is that we would be willing to help defray some of those costs. To, this next school year, obviously, we'd be starting off pretty small, but those are also things that we need to discuss. As you can see, we have brainstormed. We do not have a clear, this is what we're doing. We have a lot of really good ideas that would be easy to implement, but we just don't have the go-ahead right now to implement them. So,
How many students would you need to cover your expenses? No idea.
no, I do not know that.
So if you own, let's just take it to the bad side. If you just have 10 students, would you still go ahead with this program?
Depending on what we decide to implement in the fall.
So can you charge a tuition for them?
Yes,
How much can you charge?
that's something we need a director to find that out. That's one of the things that we would have a director to research and look into what exactly you can, all of the structure of a lot of that stuff.
You'd also be able to generate income from partnerships with businesses that may come in and use the facility. So by either charging rent or rental space, that is another opportunity for income.
How many of those have you visited with?
I personally have visited with 4. 5 actually.
Pro or con?
Huh?
Pro or con?
Pro.
The request of $45,000, does that change at all if you're awarded the grant to
No.
assist with?
No, the grant, that's,
It's not a grant.
right.
It's a waiver.
It's,
I think so.
no,
The $22,000, yeah.
that,
Yeah,
through
that's-
the mini, just kind of numbers that we put together, we kind of figured out just a lump sum of, okay, this is maybe what the compensation and expenses would be.
Mhm.
And the grant is just for the 22,000, and
Yep.
that's, we're asking the school board for the 45,000 to.
So you're thinking of around 45 that you could, what?
It'd be 45 plus the 22.
Okay, but what if you don't get the grant?
Then we'd have to reconfigure what exactly the roles of the director would entail.
Maybe potentially asking the school for more
No,
funds? No.
I don't believe that would be our step. Our step would be to
So 45
adjust
would
the
be yeah.
directors, maybe the hours that they work, instead of a full-time 40-hour-a-week job, it would maybe be 30 hours a week
But you're thinking right now, 45 would be the cap that you would ask. You wouldn't be
Yes.
asking for more on top of that.
Right, correct.
So between the director and don't you guys have some consultants hired of some sort?
Yeah, those were already paid for by the Deco Foundation
Will
grant.
they work
the tool belt.
together then going, or is this gonna be
Um,
put in the director's
yeah.
hands to kind of
That was
oversee everything?
Part of the reason why we did the 2 consultants, the Great Outcomes Consulting, her specialty is getting a lot of this stuff formulated, setting up the mission and the values. The Reach Partners their focus is more so on project management. So,
So they did their part,
Taking the
now
ball,
you need
yep.
a director to take off after that, then
Yep.
to start getting into everything then. Okay.
Any idea when you might hear back from MD about accreditation?
we're hoping by the end of April is what we're anticipating.
Without the MDE accreditation, could kids still get credits though, or adults, or
That's something
whatever
we
it is?
need to have the director look into.
They might be going through a different
It would
thing
maybe,
than
you
the
know,
Minnesota Department of Education.
if we looked into a direction of partnering with a post-secondary institution, that then they would get post-secondary credits instead of the high school credits
Hmm.
that the MDE would provide. Would just be an example.
And the last time this, you said if you don't get this grant, when's the next time it comes around?
This
Or
grant,
the waiver or
the
whatever,
waiver.
when's the last time you talked?
Accreditation for MDE?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they'll release more next year or not, they've talked about
Okay,
possible.
but it could be a yearly thing then.
It could,
Possible.
right, if we don't get it this year, there's,
Yeah, we don't know.
you know, depending on if they opened up the waiver again, we can
Nothing
apply
is
for it.
set in stone now.
Right. They haven't said if they're gonna open any up for the 2018-19 school year, or 19-20 school year, excuse me.
Anything more for Faye right now? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.